1.6 practice. We're going to begin with some warm-up integers, as we always do, and then we'll be looking at graphing systems of equations. So, when we are solving inequalities, we're going to check to see what the sign of each term is. In this case, we have a -5 and a -1. Those signs are the same. When we have the same sign, we will add 5 plus 1 to make 6 and keep the sign. For number 2, we have a -8 and a +2. The signs are different, so we will subtract 8 minus 2, which makes 6, and we keep the sign of the larger number. Number 3, we are multiplying. When we multiply or divide, if our signs are the same, in this case they are, then our answer ends up being positive. If our signs are different, we get a negative answer. 7 times 6 is 42. So we get positive 42 as our answer. And when we're dividing, the same rules apply. So if the signs are the same, it's positive. If they're different, our answer is negative. We have different signs, so we will have negative, and 10 divided by 5 is 2. -2. Okay, we're going to solve each equation. I need to get v by itself, our variable, which means I need to move this +8. We get rid of an 8 that is adding by subtracting. We do the opposite. V equals, we have a +3 and -8. Our signs are different, so we will subtract. 8 minus 3 makes 5, and we keep the sign of the larger number, -5. Number 6, n divided by 12 equals -10. N is being divided by 12, so we will get rid of 12 by multiplying it to both sides. These 12s cancel out to give us 1n equal to -120. That was -10 times +12. Number 7, a two-step equation. We need to get b by itself in 2 steps. The first is by moving this 1, and we will get rid of that by subtracting it to both sides. We get rid of addition or subtraction before we get rid of multiplication or division. Same signs, add them and keep the sign. And then we are dividing 5 to both sides to get b by itself, which leaves us with b equals -1. Number 8 is also a two-step equation. We need to get k by itself, and we are going to do that in 2 steps. There are 2 numbers we need to move, the 8 and the 6. If you notice, the 6 is attached to the k, so we are not going to move that one first. We are going to move the 8 first because it is adding or subtracting. In this case, it's adding, so we will do the inverse or the opposite operation and subtract 8 to both sides. That will give us 6k is equal to, signs are the same, we will add them and keep the sign. So a -34 plus 8 should give us a -42. We are now trying to get k by itself. It is being multiplied by 6, so we will divide 6 to both sides to find that k is equal to -7. When I did -42 divided by 6, signs were different, so I got a negative, and 42 divided by 6 is 7. All right, graphing a single line. When we were looking at number 9, we are looking for our m, which is 2 over 1. I will color coordinate. We got that from the value that's next to our x, and that is going to be positive, so it's going up and right. And b equals -1. So we will put a point at -1 and count up to right 1. up 2, right 1. Put a line through our points. Arrows at the end of our line because it does continue to infinity. And that's our line. Number 10. Do this one in red. M equals. Our m value is the value next to our x. So in this case, m equals negative 4 over 3. We will be going down 4, right 3. Our b value is 4. So we will begin at positive 4 and then count down 4, right 3. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. You can count down another 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and put a point. Draw a line through my points. Arrows at the end. And there we go. All right. Numbers 11 and 12, I will write out the m and the b. Numbers 13 and 14, I will look at my equation and just graph. So for number 11, starting with our first equation, which I've highlighted in blue, we are going to say that m is equal to 1 over 1. We get that from 1x. That will be up and right because it is positive. And then b equals negative 2. So we will begin at negative 2 and count up 1, right 1. We can also go the opposite direction and go down 1, left 1. Notice that our points all land on the same line. In red, our second equation, we're working with m is 4 over 1. It is positive, so we're going to be moving up and right. And b is equal to positive 1. So we are going to begin at positive 1 and count up 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and right 1. We can also do the exact opposite and count down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and left 1. Red and blue make purple. So if you notice the point where both red and blue cross, I have now put a purple point. Our answer is written as an ordered pair. We talk about the x coordinate and then the y coordinate for how to get to our purple point. So how to find the purple point on this graph? My x coordinate is at negative 1. My y coordinate is at negative 3. Number 12. I'll do my top equation in red. So we are working with m equals negative 1 over 3. B equals positive 3. With a negative 1 over 3, we're going down and right. I'm going to begin by graphing at 3, and then I'm going to count down 1, right 3. I can also count the exact opposite, up 1, left 3. My second equation in blue, my m value is negative 8 over 3, and my b value is negative 4. So I will begin at negative 4, and I'm supposed to count down 8, right 3. I cannot count down 8, right 3 because there's not enough room. So instead, I'm going to do the exact opposite. I'm going to count up 8 and then left 3. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and left 1, 2, 3. This point in purple is where my red and my blue lines crossed. And if you notice, we need to write our x-coordinate and our y-coordinate. So if I were to follow my point down the line here, I'll show you this in green. I know there's a lot of different colors. But if I were to follow my point down the line, it crosses at -3. And if I was to follow this line across where my point is, it goes through +4. So that's just a visual to show you where I'm looking to get those coordinates. All right, number 13. I'm going to still color coordinate. I'll start with blue, but I'm not going to write any of my information down. So for my blue equation, I always ask, where do I begin? I'm going to begin on 4. Our b is 4. And how am I going to move? My m is -1/1, so I can go down 1, right 1. And I can continue that pattern, down 1, right 1, all the way across my graph. Draw a nice line. For my red equation, I'm going to begin at -4 for my red equation. And I'm going to count up 7, right 1, because it is positive. So I'm going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and right 1. Connect my points. And my purple point goes where my red and blue lines cross. That is the solution to the system of equations. So we write our solution as an ordered pair, x comma y. And we are describing it as our x value, which is 1, and our y value, which is 3. And finally, number 14. For my top equation, which I'll do in red, we are beginning at +4, and I'm supposed to move up 3 and right 2. I do not have enough room to do that, so instead I will move down 3 and left 2. Down 3, left 2. For my second equation, which I'll complete in blue, I am going to begin at -3, and I should be counting up 3, right 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, I graphed both lines. I'm going to double check and make sure that my slopes are correct. In this case, they are. When we have the same slope, we will be working with parallel lines. Our b, or our y-intercept, shifts that line up and down, but so there's a b of 2, a b of 1, of -1, b of 0, b of 1, b of 2, b of 3, and b of 4. So our lines match up. Because they are parallel, there is no purple point. They do not cross. So there is no solution to this set of equations, to this system.